Invasive pests are a consistent threat here in California, and one of the most critical parts of invasive species management is detection and monitoring. California's agriculture and landscapes are constantly at risk from new invasive pests. We have a generally mild climate, receive huge amounts of trade from all around the world, and all manner of plants grow well in different parts of the state. All of this contributes to numerous new invasive pests arriving and causing issues almost every year. Because introductions of invasive pests are so common and because they can be so damaging, California has robust monitoring and detection systems in place to try to identify and manage these threats as early as possible. There are two main types of monitoring when it comes to invasive species, and the first is monitoring for prevention and eradication. The goal here is to try to catch any invasive species either before or directly after they enter the state, and prevent them from establishing in the first place or eradicate their populations quickly after they arrive. This approach is used for pretty much all invasive pests to begin with, and is used more intensively for particularly damaging invasive pest species. A lot of this detection work is done by county, state, and federal officials. Many California counties deploy traps on a regular basis to monitor for a variety of invasive species, often putting the traps in neighborhoods and residential areas. A good example of this is with pests like invasive fruit flies. Fruit flies can cause billions of dollars in damage to California fruit crops, in addition to harming residential fruit trees. County and state officials put out hundreds of traps baited with species-specific pheromones every year, so any instances of invasive fruit flies arriving in the state can be promptly detected and eradicated. Another example of monitoring for prevention and eradication is on shipments of plants entering California for nurseries or for other forms of trade. Inspectors visually check a subset of the arriving plants for pests, and if they find any, the plants have to be treated to eradicate the pests, shipped back to their point of origin, or destroyed. UC advisors like me often help county officials decide if treatments are feasible for when pests are detected on shipments, or if the plants instead need to be returned or destroyed. Monitoring for prevention and eradication like this works pretty well, and prevents dozens of invasive pests from ever becoming established in the state. But sometimes invasive pests make it through, and spread so much they can no longer feasibly be eradicated. And that's where the second type of monitoring comes in, which is monitoring for mitigation. In cases like this, an invasive pest has already become established in the state, and the goal of monitoring is to keep track of its spread and hopefully prevent it from reaching too many new regions or causing too much damage. The second form of monitoring is never the preferred option, but it often happens if invasive pests get out of control and are here to stay. An example of monitoring for mitigation is South American palm weevil. South American palm weevil is a highly damaging pest that rapidly kills several species of palm tree and is widespread in San Diego County, but only San Diego County in California as of early 2026. Traps like these are baited with pheromones and fermenting fruit to monitor how many of the weevils are present in an area and to see if they are spreading to new regions. Traps are currently deployed in nearby Orange County to let people there know if the weevils finally start spreading out of San Diego. While much of the work of monitoring for invasive pests is done by government officials and universities, members of the public also have an important role to play. Successful invasive pest detections rely on a broad community of agricultural professionals, land managers, volunteers, and everyday residents. An easy way to help out is to volunteer to allow the state or county to put monitoring traps in fruit trees on your property. This is essential for the consistent monitoring efforts going on around the state. If you work as a grower or are in the landscaping business, learn to recognize some common invasive pests that you might run into in your day-to-day work and report them to state or county officials or your local UC Cooperative Extension office if you find them. Now, a great example of this recently was in early 2026, a nursery owner shared photos of what he suspected was an invasive allothrips in Southern California. I grabbed some samples and confirmed the ID with state entomologists, and we documented the first instance of invasive allothrips being found in the U.S. Residents and volunteers should also learn to recognize some common invasive pest species and report them if they find them. For Master Gardener volunteers, there are trainings you can do and programs you can be part of to directly help with monitoring as well. Examples of pests to potentially look out for are things like spotted lanternfly, pink hibiscus mealybug, or cottonseed bug. If you think you found something problematic, report it to your local UC Cooperative Extension office and we can help verify it. All told, invasive species monitoring and detection is crucial to protecting California agriculture, landscapes, and way of life. The sooner we detect a threat, the less costly and damaging it's likely to be. And while professionals do a lot of work in this area, ultimately, it's up to all of us to help keep invasive pests from spreading and establishing in California.